Hi everyone, Claire here for IndigoBlu. Today I'm going to be creating a card with the beautiful new Hollyberry stamp. I'm also going to be using the Season's Greetings stamp from the Season's Greetings stamp plate and the Chocolate Box Mega Flake. Okay, so let's get to it. I'm starting off with a 5x7 card, and I've made a smaller mat out of craft cardstock, and then a smaller piece again out of IndigoBlu Perfect Stamping Card in white. So the first thing that I'm going to do, taking a generic green, dark green, so it's a holly coloured ink pad, I'm going to stamp my image in the middle, roughly, of the card. I've used a dye-based ink, so it is easy to watercolour with it. Taking the edge of the stamp, I'm going to use this edge. I'm going to also make an impression with the green ink all around the edge to create a border. So that's this part of the stamp here. I want this bit to look a bit distressed and a bit rough, so I'm not looking at how I'm inking up my stamp. The next thing I need to do is just edge just a little bit and bring in a bit of that green colour around the edge. Using flitter glue and fat foam, I've put some flitter glue onto my fat foam and worked it in with a spatula. Taking my stamp, I'm going to ink it up with the flitter glue, exactly like you would an ink pad, and then I'm going to kiss stamp over the top of the original image. You won't be able to see it on screen, but I have stamped in glue there. Then I'm going to take some water and I'm going to put my stamp in a tub of water and clean that off and make sure all the glue is off the stamp. The flitter glue dissolves completely in water. Taking my piece of fat foam, I'm now going to ink around the edges of my piece by holding my card rigid and pressing against the sides, and that will wipe some of the flitter glue along the edges. Taking the chocolate box flake, I'm now going to add Mega Flake to the whole image. Taking the flat of your hand, press all of your flake, including the edges, into the glue. And then with your scoochy sponge, take off any excess flake from the back, from the sides, and then from the front. Then I'm going to refine the image and bring all that fine detail that you can't see at the moment up. So I now have a shadow stamped image. Using your favourite colouring medium, in my case I'm using a water-based ink, I'm going to watercolour in the whole image. So I've added 3 colours, a green, a brown and a red, to my mat. Taking the IndigoBlu spray mister, I'm adding a spritz of water to each one, and I'm going to colour in with a water brush. Taking a fine detail black ink, I'm now going to ink up the Season's Greetings stamp and stamp towards the bottom right corner. Taking my card base, I need to first of all make sure that my table is clean because I don't want to get smudges. With my fine detailer tip attached to the flitter glue, I'm going to add a thin layer of flitter glue to the back of the first piece of card. And attach that to the craft layer that I previously cut out. Because it is a wet styled glue, even though it doesn't have water in it, it is a wet glue. You've got a couple of seconds when you put your layers and your mats down to move them to make sure that they are perfectly lined up. After a few seconds, that is solid. Then taking my card back, I'm going to stick the front onto the back. And exactly the same way. Thanks for visiting.